Alright, here is the siren. I forgot to turn the rotator on, which is kind of bad. But here's the new setup. There are 6 conductors. They're 12 American gauge. They're in those kind of, I forgot what kind of casing it's called, and there's 3 wrapped together. There's 2 conductors that are insulated, and then there's a bare conductor, and they're all insulated in that one thing. It's kind of like what's in your house. I always forget what it's called. But there's 6 conductors. 4 of them are phased, and 2 of them are grounded, which are bonded, which actually just go into the circuit breakers ground. So they're sort of, this equipment is sort of bonded to my electrical system. I guess it doesn't too much matter, but there are. Each one has its own conductor. Each motor has 3 conductors, although 2 of the grounding wires are just kind of bonded inside. I'll show you in a minute. Basically, there's this flexible plastic conduit runs to the ground. I buried it. Runs down over here and then to the basement. And then it comes out of the side of the house. I don't know really what that's called. It comes down and goes into the side of the RCM panel. I was gonna put like kind of a an elbow there, and my battery's low, and but I didn't do that. My light just went off. Then here are the wires. You see, there's those wires I was talking about. The wire was like really like half a foot shorter, because it's just a continuous run of this wire up there, and then it runs down, and I'd use solderless connectors because it was a foot short, and it runs into the RCM panel. And here's, I accidentally forgot to turn, oh, it's still even off, forgot to turn the rotator switch, because I moved it over, to line it back up with the house, and I guess I just left it on off instead of automatic. Alright, here's the inside of the box. Kind of zoom out. This is the chopper leg, and over there is the rotator. I know that rotator uses a 2-leg 220 system, or something along the lines of that. Basically, instead of having your phased or positive, some people are hot, and neutral. Instead, it has 2 phased or 2 hots that alternate at different times, that different phase peaks. And basically, if you were to take this wire and put it to ground, and with a voltmeter, it'd say you have 120. Same thing with that leg. But if you hook them 2 together with a voltmeter from that one to that one, or either way, it'll say you have 240. I have 120. Sorry. Each one of these is 120. I didn't really pay attention to what I said, but let me recap. So each one of these has about 120 to ground. That means if I took this wire while it was on and hooked it to the ground, I would have 120 volts. But if I hooked them together, I'd have 220. And that's why I use 2 different wires. Although I'm not sure if the chopper, because the chopper has a transformer, I'm not sure if it's a 2-leg or 1-leg. This could be, there's only 1 phase and there's a neutral, because I think on that chopper that I'm not quite sure. I haven't really tested it or anything, but I think the way that transformer works is along the lines of that. I haven't really checked with the voltmeter to see what that common serial. I'm pretty sure that must be just, I don't really know. But that's how I have mine set up. That's why I didn't use like a 3-wire kind of system. And plus, each relay on the chopper cuts off both legs. So I just wired it up like this. I still have that duct tape right there. It's actual aluminum tape. I should put the ring on, but I just haven't. I mean, I can do that because these are just solderless connectors. They screw off. There's the motor, and I don't actually have the I don't have the motors grounded. I just have the ground around there. I mean, it sort of works. I should actually put like one of those pins, like maybe right there, And then, but I don't think the wires are long enough for that. Actually, there's a hole right there. Maybe I could put one of those ground connectors. I should actually have one like right here. And then I was actually going to put like a ground stake in, like one of those grounding rods, and actually put an equipment grounding on this. I'm eventually going to do something about the motor too, and put like the motor in there is fried, so I'm going to have to get a new motor, get it fixed, and then eventually I'm going to do the same thing I did here, but with the 2T22 on the other side, except I have to get a new breaker. I'm going to have to rig up a new breaker, put the air conditioner and the 2T22 on the same kind of external sub-panel breaker, and then just make it, put switching, load switching duty, whatever where the circuit breakers can handle switching loads off, so that way I can just shut my air conditioner off and turn the siren on, because I don't think that thing actually pulls 60 amps running, but I don't know, but it's got a 60 amp breaker, so I'll put like a 60 amp breaker on this. I haven't quite figured out why the breaker keeps tripping, because it doesn't trip on startup. Oh, my tree fell over. Alright, well, that's it, probably, most likely.